Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. Before we get into this video, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and also follow me on Instagram. I would really appreciate it. Today I am filming this very natural, easy, neutral work makeup look, if you will. Of course, you don't have to wear this to work. You can also wear it to like a brunch date or any other daily activity. But I feel this look is very daytime appropriate. Also, if you're wondering why I'm wearing plaits, well, I want to have curly hair tomorrow, and the best way to get curly hair is through plaits. Leaving your hair in plaits overnight will give you the nicest curl, if you didn't know that, especially if you have short hair, so go ahead and try it. Anyway, enough rambling, let's just jump into the video. The first thing I do before I put on makeup, I always wear a primer. I know there's a lot of people out there that say that primer does nothing, but if I put any makeup on my face without a primer, it doesn't look as good and it doesn't wear as long. And my favorite one, I know I've mentioned this 5,000 million times, but it is my favorite. It's the Strobe Cream and Goldlite from MAC. It's very hydrating and it gives you a nice goldy glow. That's why I love it. I like to wear this primer also on days when I am not wearing any makeup at all. It just makes your skin look that tiny bit more healthy because it is so nice and glowy. Now, we're all primed up and the next thing I do is eyeshadow. I've zoomed you in a bit closer so you can see better what I'm doing. This eye look is super easy. When you see it, you're like, what's this? But this is my go-to. I have been wearing this for the past few weeks, ever since I got the shadows. I'm going to show you what I'm using in just a second. However, before I put any eyeshadow on, I do prime my lid. So for today, the eyeshadow primer I'm using is from theBalm. Put a lid on it, eyelid primer. This is just the mini sample size. Whenever I wear eyeshadow, I have to use an eyeshadow primer. I know some people use concealer, but the concealer just creases super heavily in my eyes, so that's why an eyeshadow primer is a must whenever I want to wear eyeshadow. For eyeshadow, we are using the new eyeshadows from the JloxINGLOT collab. If you guys saw that video, you remember me saying the more I use these shadows, the more I love them. I am absolutely in love with these eyeshadows because they are so perfect for an everyday neutral work appropriate look. Of course, if you are some sort of a dolphin trainer, well then yeah, wearing makeup doesn't make any sense. But if you are somebody who works in an office or in retail, well then these are great. If you have not seen the video I made about JLo and her Inglot collab, I will link that somewhere, so make sure you go check that out. Anyway, we are going to start with the shade Honey, which is kind of like a very light goldy kind of eyeshadow. I'm so bad at describing eyeshadows, but it's just very shimmery and it's very light. I'm getting a random fluffy brush and I'm just putting this into my crease just to get some depth going. And I don't know why on camera it looks super red, but this is actually not red at all. It's a very nice light brown. If you see this in the store, swatch them and then you'll see they're not that red at all. Now that's that for that shade. Then I will use the shade Pearl and put that all over the lid. Pearl is very light. It's more shimmer than anything, but on a light skin tone it looks really lovely. I just love the sparkle this has. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but again, if you are in store, just have a look at these. Okay, so that is it for the eyeshadow at the moment. We will go back to the lower lash line once the foundation and concealer and powder and everything else is on. For now, that's it for the eyes. If you want to spice it up a little bit, go on and put on a liner, but I would recommend just putting on a tiny bit of a brown kohl pencil and smoking it out. That would look lovely. But if you want, you can also put black wing liner on. I'm going to continue with concealer. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer. This is my new favorite one. I am putting this on first because it's extremely light. I need to get like a shade darker, but we will cover up that extreme lightness with foundation. So that's why I'm putting this on first. I'm only putting on a tiny bit. I'm not gonna do that whole triangle thing. I'll first blend it out with my finger. A little bit goes a long way. The shade is fair neutral. Nothing neutral about this. It's just fair. And then I will go in with a mini sponge and blend out the rest, because if I would blend it out with my finger, I'll be here 5 days. Concealer is on. Let's move on to foundation. I know I don't really wear foundation, but lately I have been loving the Hello Flawless Oxygen Wow Brightening Makeup from Benefit. My one is I'm So Money Honey. And I have used this quite a bit back in the day, and now I know why. I like this foundation because it is full coverage, yet it doesn't create that mask effect. It is still kind of natural looking. And I will go over the concealer. This is just one pump. And we will blend it out with the Beauty Blender. Now that is the foundation done, and as you can see, it is still very dewy. However, I always set my foundation. Even though I have dry skin, I still feel if you set your foundation with powder, you get twice the wear time. For the under eyes, I will still use my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder because that is just still the best one. I am really intrigued to get my hands on the new Hourglass translucent setting powder. I've heard good things about that. I'm just using the same Beauty Blender, just using the top part now. Usually all concealers crease on me. The Urban Decay one creases the least. If you combine it with the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, it does not crease at all. Maybe just a tiny bit, but compared to others, it's very minimal. I do also set my forehead. The little wrinkles that I have on my forehead, I like to set them so that the foundation doesn't sink into them. Now you can set your whole face with this, but I feel if I only set my face with this translucent setting powder, it makes me look very ghostly. So I like to go over on top with a powder foundation. I know this might be too much for some people, but feel free to skip the powder part. Or don't put on liquid foundation and just wear powder foundation, which is what I have been doing for a very long time. But recently I am back into liquid foundation as well. To set the rest of my face, I am using MAC Studio Fix. No surprise there. Oh, I forgot. Before I powder my face, I usually like to go in with another concealer and conceal this horrendous scar that I have here from an eyebrow piercing. This is just the concealer from WetNWild from their Photofocus line. I actually really enjoy this one. It's in the shade Light Ivory, but it's a pretty good skin tone match for me. I just hate this scar. It was lying dormant for a very long time, and then suddenly out of the blue it just went red again, like it got infected or something. I don't know. Moral of the story, do not pierce your eyebrows. They will always scar. No matter what they tell you at the salon, no, it won't leave a scar. It will leave a scar. You're putting a hole through your body. Before I do my brows, I usually like to go in with bronzer, blush and highlight. For bronzer, I like to use something light and subtle, and for me, that is the bronzer from the Charlotte Tilbury FILMSTAR Bronze and Glow palette. I know I've mentioned this one 1 million times as well, but it's perfect. It's always in my handbag when I go to work, and it's not too much. This palette has lasted me a very long time. Even though there is a big dent in here, there's still so much product left. And again, you guys would notice I don't really contour, I just put a bit on the cheeks. Don't forget to bring it down your neck, and if you have your hair tied up, just go over the ears as well. I know that's weird, but at least you will look bronzed everywhere. Favorite blush still is Cream Puff. Is that what they are? The Cream Puff blushes from Max Factor. This is the lightest one, 10 Nude Mauve, and I believe I mentioned this in my February favorites. And this is why I have not filmed another favorites video, because I'm still using the same stuff. Even when I'm trying out something new, I just still keep going back to the old one. But this blush is so nice. It's very subtle. and you just can't overdo it with it. It has the tiniest bit of a sheen to it, so it's not completely matte. These cream puff blushes from Max Factor are really great. They do have darker shades as well, absolutely, but just this one, the nude mauve, is just perfection. Okay, so everything so far is kind of toned down and neutral, but highlight is the place where we can oomph it up a bit, if that makes sense. So what I have been doing on a regular basis is putting a cream highlighter underneath and then topping it up with a powder highlight. And the cream highlighter I have been using still is the one from Hourglass Champagne Flash. It's perfection. Even though cream highlighters are considered to be more intense, this one still looks really, really natural. If you want to get a good cream highlighter, just save up and invest in one of these. I have not seen a bad review about these Vanish Flash. Vanish, isn't that like a detergent? I'm pretty sure I use Vanish for my white clothes. Highlight is the place where I like to go a little bit more over the top. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, I love it. Usually when I'm at work, I oftentimes do my makeup at work because I have to be there really, really early, so I don't want to get up at like 5 and start putting on makeup. But usually what I did is top it up with the highlighter from the Charlotte Tilbury palette. But I'm feeling a bit more courageous, and I want to use the highlighter from the Inglot and JLo collab. I'm just going to use the lighter part here. I'm going to top that up. Oh, yes. Okay, so now that we have face pretty much done, let's move on to the brows. Brow pencil I have been reaching for is the NYX Professional Makeup Precision Brow Pencil. My one is in the shade, I want to say taupe. No, I lied, this is ash brown. It's not as fine as their Micro Precision Brow. As you can see, the tip on this is a lot wider, but it does get the job done. You guys know I hate doing my eyebrows. I wonder if I never gotten my eyebrows pierced, I had both of them then, would I still hate my eyebrows or would I have lovely eyebrows? I sometimes think about that, but then I realize that the shape of the brow is already very messed up. It is what it is. I'm just gonna comb through them a tiny bit with the spoolie. Let's go ahead and highlight underneath the brow bone. I'm just gonna use the same highlighter from the JloxINGLOT collab. What we're also gonna do is put a tiny bit of eyeshadow underneath the lower lash line, and for that I'm just gonna use the shade Naked 2 from the Naked Basics palette. At this point what I do is I set my face, because I don't like to set my face when I have mascara on, because more often than not the mascara smudges then after I spray my Fix Plus. Setting spray makes just everything melt into your skin and makes it look so much more better and natural. And the best setting spray is still from MAC. I know Urban Decay's All Nighter is really good as well, but MAC trumps it for me any day. Then we just have mascara and lips left. For mascara I'm using a combination. I am using the Maybelline Total Temptations mascara. If you watched my February favorites, you know that this mascara is like meh. But I am somebody who likes to use all the products that I have, so I am using these. I like mascaras that are dry, and I was hoping if I don't use this for a while that this would dry out, but this is still very, very liquidy. Then, because usually I hate the way the Maybelline Total Temptations mascara looks, I go over it with the Essence Volume Hero mascara. I showed this mascara in my Essence video. I'll link that somewhere so you can check out how this mascara performs on its own. But because this is a more drier formula and the brush is rubbery, it kind of fixes what the Maybelline Temptations left behind. Now you could just only do the top of your lashes, but if you want to do the bottom of your lashes as well, I would recommend a waterproof mascara. So for the bottom lashes I have been using the L'Oreal False Lash Fiber Extreme Resist. Again, who thinks of these names? I just like to use this mascara on the lower lashes because it is waterproof and it doesn't smudge. But 9 times out of 10 I don't wear mascara on the bottom lashes. This is a little close-up of my lashes so you can see how the mascaras look. Obviously you can only use one mascara. You could use a waterproof mascara for the top and the bottom lashes. But I have pretty much always layered my mascara. Finally, for lips, I like to go a neutral shade as well. And one of my favorites is the Maybelline Matte Ink liquid lipstick in the shade Driver number 55. This is like the perfect nude lip, and these matte ink liquid lipsticks are super long wearing. If you do work in an office, lips, I would definitely recommend a nude color. Don't get me wrong, I have rocked the red and purple lip at work as well, but I just don't really feel comfortable. I feel more comfortable with a natural nude lip. And with these Maybelline matte inks, I don't have to constantly worry, is my lipstick gone or do I have to touch it up again? That's why I prefer liquid lipsticks over regular lipsticks, but I do wear regular lipstick as well. One of my favorite regular lipsticks to wear is Blankety from MAC. It's also a very, very nude color. It's more on the pinky side. Oh wow, just look at that hand next to my face. It's more of a pinky color, but I absolutely love this. However, I would still wear the liquid lipstick. Having said that, if you wear the liquid lipsticks every day, at the end of the week your lips will feel super dry, so keep that in mind. Guys, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Here are some more videos that you might enjoy, so go ahead and click on them. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye!